Jacob, you talked to us after, like, right after the Tennessee game, obviously. What's been the mood, and what have these practices been like in the week or so since, few days since?
We're staying disciplined. We're focused on what we need to do, winning every day, taking it day by day. So we're not trying to get complacent and um, get used to winning. We want to still have that chip on our shoulder and understand that we got to be the chasers. We got to hunt and not be hunted. So everyone's locked in. Everyone's dialed into winning every day.
Is that kind of stacking days thing that Cal has started talking about it? Is that, at least framing it in that way, is that fairly new here in the last few years?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to stack days, and every day we're trying to win, whether it's a day that we're just scripting and not even practicing, just being dialed in mentally. But yeah, being able to win every day just helps with that winning mentality for games.
Yeah, does that make it easier to focus, or just to not worry about what's coming and just worry about the next 12 hours or so?
100%. We're not worried about tomorrow. We're worried about today. We're worried about how we can get better today, and that starts with film. And then once we get on the court to practice, that's when we worry about winning that practice.
Jacob, Cal described Chris as tough as nails after the game on Tuesday. Just how have you seen Chris progress over the course of the season? Is there any one thing that sticks out to you about his game that has really shined since he got here?
Yeah, he's a really good player for us. He could get downhill. He uses his body very well and can finish through contact, so that's really good. He's a tough player, and he could get to the free throw line and make free throws, so he needs to do that a little bit more. But he's been really good for us, being tough, diving on floors, getting rebounds that we need. So he's really good for us.
How valuable is having toughness like that being a freshman? You know, it seems like he's pretty mature for his age as well.
It's really good. That's what we are about. We're about fighting, being tough, and that's what we flip the script on. Just being that team who's going to fight and who's going to be tough, and we have a lot of guys that's going to do that. So it's really good for us and for us to win games.
How important is Xavier to this team, and how important is it having him healthy moving forward?
Really important. I know a lot of people are talking bad about him, but this team is nothing without Xavier. He does a lot for us, whether he's starting, whether he's coming off the bench. He brings a lot of energy to this team, and he changes the pace of the game. On the offensive end, he defends very well, even though he's small. He fights. He's tough. So all the negative comments about him could go out the window. He's really important to this team, and we need him in order to do something special.
That was important for you to say.
Huh?
It seems like that was important for you to say.
Yeah, it was. The media always tries to put someone against the wall, bring somebody down. And like I said, it can take a toll on somebody's mental. And a lot of people don't know what we go through behind the scenes. So I just want to make it aware that he's really important to this team. And without him, this team wouldn't be anything. So I just want everyone to know that.
How much was rallying with him when some of that negative talk was going before the Tennessee game? You know, how much rallying did you all do?
I mean, that's the thing about it. Like, we try to stay away from it, but obviously we're going to get moments where, like, we see all the negative things, and sometimes we can't stay away from it. And obviously, you have your own mind. You have that own little voice in your head that's trying to feed negative things to you. So you got to really, like, try to stay away from all the negative comments. But that's what we're here for. We're here to stick through it for one another. We're here for each other, and Xavier knows we're here for him. And everyone else knows we're here for them as well. So just sticking together through all the ups and downs and allowing each other, like, to build off one another.
You might talk about this, but the players meetings you all had, how valuable was that to you all in those days?
It was very valuable. The meetings that we had for each other, it helped us understand who we are as individuals, how we could get better. We all looked at ourselves in the mirror, understood what we needed to do to get better, not just for our individual selves, but for this team in order to win. So it was definitely important for our success. No, it was everyone. And that's the thing about this team. We don't have one leader. We have multiple leaders, and this is very player-oriented. So if one person has an idea, everyone's on it, and we're going to just continue to do that.
Calipari always talks about being player driven. Do you feel like this team is on that way to being there?
100%. We have a lot of guys that are starting to take on that role. Even Kaysen, a freshman, he's taking on that leadership role, and I like that for him because he could be a leader for this team. But everyone's being vocal on and off the court, making sure everyone's staying disciplined and understanding what we need to do to continue to win and do something special.
Is there anything you know about Texas A&M yet, or have you watched them at all?
Yeah, so yesterday, Coach sent all of us film from last year when we played them at Texas A&M, and we watched that. I watched it, and I know they're a really good team. They're gritty players. They're going to fight, and they scramble up the game a lot. So it's going to be a tough game for us. They fight like Tennessee, so it's going to be another dog fight like Tennessee. So we just got to, like I said before, focus on today, win today, and worry about them when the day comes.
Is it more frustrating to try and get the rebound from the opponent or from Oscar?
Definitely from Oscar. He last game he tried to take my rebound like 5 times. Oscar. He had 20 rebounds. I go for a rebound. He takes it from me. I'm like, yo, you have 20 rebounds. Let me get 1 rebound.
You still had 11 rebounds out there. I think you and Oscar out rebounded the other team by yourselves. How important is it for you all to be that aggressive on that? Has that been something that Cal's been trying to instill in you all even more lately?
Yeah, it's just fight, honestly, the will to get the ball. And obviously Oscar has a will to get the ball. But I want to be in that category as well, understanding that in order to get easy points, one way to get easy points is by offensive rebounds. So I try to go for offensive rebounds, but also defensively getting defensive rebounds so the teams don't get second chance points. So that's what we take pride in doing with defending and rebounding.
Prescribed to that kind of thinking, I guess,
Yeah,
that you like the way that's being presented.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a better way of thinking. Keeps you motivated too. So, definitely.
Cal described you as tough as nails after this was after the Georgia game. It seems like you've really had a willingness to drive, to create contact. Is that something that you've been focused on more here today?
Yeah, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think in high school I was more just focused on offense, and I would make plays on defense here and there. But now I'm becoming a complete player. I feel as though Coach Cal is really pushing me to focus on defense. So I feel as though making plays defensively has been my main focus, and that's really helping my game now. So definitely.
Chris, every year Cal talks about the team wanting it to be player driven. Do you feel like that you guys are on the way to becoming that?
Definitely. Just having team player only meetings, or even when we have meetings with coaches, we're allowed to have our inputs and say what we got to say, and they really listen to us. They really, take in what we're saying, and it really comes into effect. So definitely player driven with coach leadership for real.
Chris, Cal, after the game on Tuesday, described you as tough as nails. Just when you hear him say something like that, what does that mean to you?
That's just how I've been trying to play, ever since the beginning of the season. So, it's definitely something that I want to hear about myself and how I need to play for this team.
You always describe yourself as a gritty player growing up before you got to UK. Do you feel like that's always been something you've had in your game, being tough?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely being tough, but I feel like I'm taking it to another level because I'm being, way more tougher defensively too. So that's definitely been a part of my game, something that I'm trying to, stay consistent with throughout the season.
From your perspective, how important is Sabir to this team and getting him healthy moving forward as well?
He's really important. He runs the show. He runs the show for us offensively, and he's like the head of the snake defensively. So, we're looking forward to him, getting back in the lineup, getting his minutes back up, because we're gonna need him, throughout the course of the season. So I'm really looking forward to him being back.
What have you been able to tell kind of what his mood has been over the last week or so, especially, I'm sure he wanted to play in that Tennessee game, being injured and having to sit out, but it seems like he's still pretty up on the bench at least.
Yeah, Size is just an amazing teammate. He was coaching us like he was out there playing in the Tennessee game, talking to me, especially talking to Kaysen, since Kaysen had the job of being the point guard. So, he was just, he's a vocal leader. He's something that we need for this team. And so, he really did his part, when he didn't play, bring energy on the bench, him and Damian also. So, that was very, much so needed, especially in the hostile environment in Tennessee. We need all the energy we can get, so we needed him for that.
about 20 games under your belt now. Do you still feel like a freshman, or kind of how are you feel like you're coming along?
Yeah. I wouldn't say I feel like a freshman. I feel like I just, kind of established myself, as far as like my confidence and what I can do, and bring to this team. So as far as like all the freshman nerves and jitters and things like that, there's no time for that. 20 games in, I'm just ready to go and ready to continue the season for me.
What have you thought about these road environments, Tennessee and then Alabama the week before going back to Gonzaga? Were you all the way prepared for that? Did you know what you were walking into with these?
I kind of like knew what it's like, sold out crowd. I knew we had Kentucky, so everybody gonna try to bring their best game and things like that. So I think it kind of, I like winning on the road more. Like I think it's more enjoyable, being in a hostile environment and still pulling out the win. I know we only did it against Tennessee so far. Well, I don't know if London counts, but being on the road and still being able to get the dub, I think it's a lot fun.
Is that just like sticking it to the other fans, or just because you're maybe more of an underdog situation?
I think it's a combination of both. Yeah. I think like that.
So walking off the court in Knoxville was probably the highlight of the season emotionally, I guess.
Yeah, it
so
was
far.
fun. It was fun for sure.
I know you all are just trying to, Cal's talking about stacking days, just taking everything one day at a time, but have you sort of scoped out and looked back at that Tennessee win, or just how valuable that may be for you all going forward the rest of the year?
I think, probably a couple of days after we were still pondering on it, talking about it, patting ourselves on the back, but now it's on to the next, you know what I'm saying? I think it was a good win, but we got a lot of tougher games and tough games ahead, so we're just looking ahead, looking to, do what we did at Tennessee again to other teams.
Did the noise from the outside somehow cause this team to bond closer together and like it's us against everybody kind of thing?
Yeah, I definitely think we had our backs against the wall. We kind of dug ourselves in a hole, especially after that loss, against South Carolina. So I think it made us come together closer because we knew we didn't really have, much of anybody else. So we knew we had each other and we knew we had to make something happen. So, and we did that. So I think we're really proud of the group for, making sure, we stuck together and stuck it out.
Have you seen anything close to like what Oscar did on Tuesday?
No. For the video game numbers, I've never seen nothing like that. No.
Is it when you're trying to go and rebound with him? How difficult is that for you and other guys? And
he takes about 1 or 2 rebounds from me a game, so it's definitely difficult. We laugh about it after the games all the time. Yeah, Oscar's a monster, and that performance is crazy. I've never seen nothing like it, and it's just seeing the numbers after the game is crazy. So it's crazy.
Even with the Tennessee win, you all started out in an 8-0 hole again. What's the key, especially on the road, to getting a better start and not kind of digging that hole for yourself?
Just having the shots fall for real. I mean, we was getting good shots, but we wasn't really focused on, the score at the time. We just knew we wanted to win. So our energy stayed the same. Our mindsets were still positive, and we knew we were trying to win. So, just because we're missing shots don't mean, we got to put ourselves in a deeper hole. We just got to keep playing, which will fall eventually. So, just hitting shots early on is just really, how you solve that problem.
Was that maybe a change in mentality at Tennessee that maybe wasn't there? Missouri, Gonzaga, was that more conscious?
Yeah, I'd say possibly. Yeah, you miss shots are not the end of the world, you know what I'm saying? Because, the other team still has to make shots in the other end too. So we can, get easier shots with defense and things like that and just keep playing. So it's not the end of the world, although we don't want to keep, digging ourselves in the hole in the beginning of the game. But, it's definitely been a different mentality. I think so.
Thank you, Chris.